This episode of the Nuff Said podcast is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Welcome back to the Nuff Said podcast, season 4, episode 1, The Ghost. Oh, I can't wait to talk about this. Hey, I am rambunctious Rob Southgate. With me is...
Are we doing that again?
You're doing it right now. I just stuck it to you.
I don't know. The amazing Alil.
Always lame.
It's always lame, but because you're always doing that.
You know I won't do it next time, too. That's the best part. So, a couple of quick bits of business. Jack, as many of you know that have been listening for 3 full years, he's in a doctoral program. He's got 9 months left to it. He was on a cruise all summer, playing on that. He comes back. He's like, okay, when are we doing the show? I talked to him about it. We decided it's best because it's just way too hard to get our schedules together with him trying to do all this studying and everything and working as a musician. We decided he's going to take a break from this main show. So it'll be Alil and I now. He will, I'm sure, want to come in periodically, which is cool. It's not like he's left the show. It's just during this season because of his schooling, we have to, he has to take a back seat. But this is the big announcement. We have a couple of new things coming that you're going to want to know about. First of all, we have a Patreon page. Nuff Said, just look up Nuff Said Podcast on Patreon. Jack and I, starting, I'm hoping in November, maybe October, are going to do a Patreon-only show only on Nuff Said, only on that feed, but it's free, so you don't have to pay. I think the name we have right now is Jacking Around. You would think Alil would want to be on that one. And it's just going to be kind of free-form talking, kind of like the show normally is. But that'll be Patreon only, so you have to go to Patreon. We're not going to put that on iTunes or anyplace else. And then, if we can work it out, just like we did our Daredevil Patreon-only show, Alil and I have been talking, and actually Phil and Charlie too, about doing all those Netflix shows, going back to Jessica Jones, Daredevil 2, and now Luke Cage. Those will not be regular, like once-a-week shows. It's when we can do them, we'll do them, but those are going to have to pay, and I think we're going to put it at like the $5 level. You subscribe, $5, you get those shows. So that's kind of the jam. That's what's going on right now. Alil.
Yes.
You ready to do this thing?
Sure.
Hey, give your social media up front.
All right. You can find me at the League of Geeks podcast, and that is on Twitter at LOGEEKZ. League of Geeks on Facebook, and the League of Geeks Alil on Instagram. Yeah,
and you guys keep running these awesome contests with Entertainment Earth. I just want to highlight that. You don't have one currently, do you? Or is that Joker one running?
No, the Joker one's over. We've got another one.
Oh, man, I didn't win the Joker. I was trying. You guys have these toy-centric contests. So people, all they have to do is click on your website, click on the ad, and sign up, right?
Right, yeah. There's a little bar on the right side of the page, and all you got to do is put your name and your email address, and that's it. So, and if you got multiple email addresses, you can enter multiple times. I'm not stopping you.
Alil is condoning it, actually, but
yes, I am.
Don't tell his boss, Steve.
Yes, please, because he will beat me. No, but okay. Yes, we're giving away actually right now. It ends at the end of the month on the 30th for Star Wars Rogue One Friday. We're giving away a full-size Hasbro Black Series Kylo Ren voice-changing helmet, perfect for cosplay.
Is it adult-sized, or is it like...
Yes, if it's me.
Wow.
Yes, it's very nice. And we're also giving... There's like a street artist that does some jewelry and stuff. His name is Han Cholo, and it's a Kylo Ren lightsaber pendant and necklace, and it's for men. And it's actually a really nice a 2-pack there. It's about $120 value.
Sure it is.
Both things. Yeah.
Get my joke? Okay.
I get it.
All right. Let's get into this. Everybody go sign up for that. And everybody go to our Patreon page. Okay. It starts out, I'm dying, man. I'm dying.
Okay. Go for it.
This was the best Ghost Rider thing we've had by a mile.
Yes.
They got it right. What? But what?
I wanted more. You know, I mean, I know we're going to get more. I know we're going to get more, but
you know what? I think it was right. This is, to me, this was the strongest opening episode of a season. This was one of the strongest episodes they've had, period. Like, things were balanced properly. You had that Ghost Rider stuff was really cool.
It was.
It left you going, like, off kilter. Like, okay, he's got the devil in him, and Sky is onto him, and he's that fight with Sky. I mean, I'm like, there was a lot going on. I like that we never saw the director. I like that we don't know. We don't know who the director is. What we do know is it's not Talbot.
Right. Yeah. And spoiler alert, if you don't know the actor Jason O'Mara, that's who will be playing him. I mean, that's already been out there.
That's out there, but we didn't see him in this episode. We haven't seen what he's doing. We just got clues that he's, really by the book. He's trying to bury all that craziness that was going on, but they fully embrace the fact that there are enhanced human beings around, and I'll tell you, man, one of the things I really, really dug, aside from the fact that I was like wanting to go back and watch all the Ghost Rider scenes,
which I did.
Did you?
I watched it today with my son. He wanted to see it. He wanted to see Ghost Rider because I have this giant Ghost Rider statue with classic Ghost Rider on the motorcycle here, and he always stares at that thing. He likes the Ghost Rider, but he doesn't understand what the Ghost Rider is. So then, basically the killing scenes, I'm trying to explain to him, like, he's not killing him, he's sending him to hell, and like trying to explain it, it's kind of hard to a 5-year-old. But
yeah, it's a little difficult. Well, and I like how they touched on that here. He talked about it a little bit, but we didn't get the whole story. So like the casual viewer that doesn't really know about Ghost Rider is going to be very, I'm not going to say confused. I mean, your son might be confused, but they're going to be thinking he's the bad guy, or I thought he was a hero. What is this that he's talking about, like being a vigilante, So I think they did a great job with that. The other thing they did an incredible job with. Have you read this new Ghost Rider?
I have the first 4 or 5 issues, and then again, it's not that I don't want to read it. It's just time and picking up books, and it's difficult to get out there. But I did like it. I like the funky artwork.
The artwork's really cool, and it's a quick read. I mean, if you read the first arc, what is it, like 6 issues is the first arc?
I missed the end of it, but yeah.
If you read that, what's on Marvel U right now too. But if you read through that, it's really quick, but it's really fantastic. And this guy, it made sense. Like after I've read that, and the other thing is that shot at the end when his brother is there, was spot on. Like I was like, it didn't feel jive or anything. It didn't feel like it was just right on. Like it really made it all hit home, because before that we didn't know if they were going to do that storyline with the brother. And I thought, okay, he seems a little hard. He seems a little not necessarily like the character in the book. When he delivered the line about going to hell, or you've got the devil in you or whatever also. Yeah. And then we saw the brother. I'm like, they nailed it. This is going to be the guy in the comic book. I also, with his, his motorcycle's iconic, right? So when they switched to the car, in the comic book, it makes sense. I still didn't love it as much as I did the bike. But here, I loved it. I love this car. I thought this was cool.
Yeah. It made more sense than, because not many people are riding around in big choppers anymore. That's, right. There aren't. If you're out there, you're listening, and you're like, what are you talking about? I do. That's fine. But and I get it. But, when you see people on motorcycles these days, a lot more are riding, little, those little Suzuki bikes and stuff like that, more so than the big hogs. And this update, especially with this muscle car, it was pretty awesome. It was awesome, and I loved just everything about the car. I loved all the little touches, like when he grabbed the keys out of the whatever that is up there, the carburetor or whatever. Remember he reached his hand and he pulled them out, and you're like, oh, that's cool. He knows. He's like he's been Ghost Rider long enough that he's kind of in control of when this is going to happen now. Right. Yeah, and you can see that. I mean, there's sometimes it seemed like maybe he lost a little bit of control at the end, and we'll get to that with his fight with Daisy. but it worked. I mean, it all worked so well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It delivered in ways I wasn't expecting. I was excited for Ghost Rider, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, it's a TV show. Is it going to look? Is it going to be what we want, or is it going to be Deathstroke in the painted football armor? But no, man, no. It was amazing, and
right.
I thought
they spent the money on the CG.
It paid off.
That's for sure, and it was clear head and shoulders above what we've gotten before, just even in the look.
Yes,
which is scary when you're talking about a studio with $150 million budget, and they can't do it better than a TV show.
Right.
So, but okay, let's get off of Ghost Rider for a little bit.
I'm off Ghost Rider.
There was a lot of other things that happened in this episode.
I want to talk about our team, but you go ahead. You go to what you want to. But
I guess starting for people who haven't watched, but I mean, we've time jumped about 6 months. We're 6 months into the future. I see it now. This is where I was confused a little bit. Are we 6 months ahead of the 4-month time jump, or are we 6 months ahead of Hive? I couldn't get where we were exactly, and maybe I missed it in a line or two. I felt like we were just 6 months in the future. Like
that's where I felt.
It was a couple months. It was a couple months past where they gave us that little snippet at the end, that little teaser where there is a new director and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think we're 6 months after that. I think we're a couple of months after that.
Okay, which is perfect, and that would make some sense. What I like is it opened up with Coulson and Mac, our team together.
Yep,
and they're
love them together,
and it feels like it's kind of like an odd couple kind of mix. But they've gone through so much and they have respect for each other, even though
we know Mac's story and we know how he views Coulson. So watching that and the way that Coulson has put himself in that role where he's not director, so he's not acting like, hey, I'm the big cheese, I'm your partner. I love that dynamic. Love it.
Yeah, I do too. But the thing is like, you're right. We know, Mac has been like hot and cold with Coulson. Like, there have been so many times in the last season that he has stood a season and a half. I mean, how long has it been? 2 years that Mac has been with the team? A year and a half?
2 years. I
mean, that he stood up to Coulson, that he is questioned, that he has quit S.H.I.E.L.D. because of Coulson. And it's just
but now
weird
it's all
dynamic.
Changed. Yeah, but now it's a level playing field. He has a lot of respect for Coulson.
Yeah, it's a level playing field, but yet he still dropped that he almost called him director once. Fitz almost called him director once.
He's very I thought it all made sense. I think that Mac is very hardcore about stuff. Like to him, these are the rules and this is how it works. And that's why he had trouble with Coulson in the director role. But in his mind, Coulson is still director. Like he's still like, you're still boss. So and that's probably going to remain for a while. Even in their dynamic, he was playing around with Coulson. He probably felt more comfortable doing that, but you could tell he was still respectful of Coulson. Coulson's still kind of the man. And I thought that played out really great. And I loved Coulson. Like when he gave him crap about chopping off his hand. I mean, come on, man. That's hilarious.
It was. But it was cool because it tied in nicely to Mac getting was it exploding pen or like a pen gun or whatever? I forgot what.
He got an exploding pen.
Yeah, an exploding pen. It was like a James Bond
type of. They're making Fitz into kind of a Q in this episode.
That's what I felt like. I mean, not in a bad way, but that's kind of what it felt like.
Yeah. And I think that with this new director, maybe that is kind of his role. Although I think this is about to change drastically. So anyway, I'm going to go to Daisy.
Okay.
Let's go to Daisy. I mean, Quake or whatever she is now.
She, in my view right now, she is her third alter ego, Quake.
Agreed. She is just living as Quake now.
Yeah, she wants nothing to do with her past lives. She is a vigilante taking down the watchdogs.
Fully vigilante.
Yeah.
And this is great. This is the direction the show needed to go with her. She needs, now even if she comes back into S.H.I.E.L.D., she needs to embrace the fact that she's Quake. And that's what's going to lead us into the actual Secret Warriors storylines. That's what we need. That's what the second half of the season has to do. So I thought this was the right step. I thought the fact that she's rogue, I thought the fact that S.H.I.E.L.D. is like, by the book saying, hey, we've got this person out here, we got to do something about it, while Mac and Coulson are going, yeah, but it's Sky, or but it's Daisy, or whatever they call her at that point. And it's like, you know what? I think this is a really nice tension that's going to be there. I don't want her to come back in by episode 2 or 3. I want her to be out there doing her thing. She's dealing with this ghostwriter. They're investigating it. They're chasing her down. Even if they resolve that and I don't want her back in the fold yet. I like her being on the outside this way. And I like that whole beginning sequence. And this is why I think they're going to continue with that. They took their time. They did an 80s, montage of her suiting up, putting the bandages on, getting her hair right. I was like, yeah, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It's still, she wasn't a convincing vigilante yet. They tried it with, the dark makeup when they right. kind of, I don't know.
Is Quake in the comics either?
No, but she never went rogue like this. At least I don't remember in the comics.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. But
I think she was always like a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. So I mean, I take it as a different storyline. I'm not going to compare it to the comics because even we can talk about Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider, he's a high school kid in the comics.
Right.
He's clearly not here.
Yeah, right.
But that's okay.
Unless he went to Bayside, because
I don't need a lot of people like, oh, you have the source material, use it exactly. Well, like sometimes you can't.
Right.
Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Sometimes you can't get the right actors. And I
think this was the right actor. So I don't care if there's an age difference. Even the brother is older. Now, here's something I thought.
But I think really Daisy, I think she is not. I don't know. I don't know what there's something missing, and I don't know what it is yet with her storyline.
Well, you know what? It was so focused on Ghost Rider and her just being kind of the one that finds him that I don't think they developed much there. I think that montage was all the development we were going to get in this episode. So you might be right. We might need more development there, but I did like it. I like that she's working out her powers, that she's got that. We're going to call it flying, but she's not really flying. But she's getting it down. She's working it out. And I love that she's back in the van. Season 1, episode 1, Sky's in the van. Here it was. I thought that was pretty cool.
With the hula girl.
Yeah. How about May? Now, May only had a tiny bit. We got to see her kick a little butt with those trainees. But did you read the Agent May comic?
No, I did not.
Okay, I only read the first issue. It was not great. I think I talked about it on here. But it was exactly this. She is the one in charge of teaching like hand-to-hand combat with the trainees. And in the episode, it was very similar. How when their plane came in, that's exactly what happens in the book. Although in the book, at that point, it's Hydra that's on the plane, and she's got these rookies that she's got to try to fight Hydra with. And it was kind of rote. It was all right. She was the best character in the comic. But these guys, I would want to go back and look at that book because I think a couple of those characters were based on the characters in the book. I think they did it reminded, like when I saw them immediately, I was like, oh wait, those are the trainees. Before I knew what was going on, it was the woman with the short hair, I think, is one of the trainees from the book.
Okay.
So that was interesting. Fitz and Simmons still dating. Thank goodness we're not going to get a Sam and Diane going on for 100 years. I like that it's circumstances that are keeping them apart right now. That makes sense. And it makes sense how, like, she does have a trajectory a little different than his. He's got a trajectory a little different than hers, but we don't have that cat and mouse. They both know they care about each other, and we don't have to play around with that anymore. We're, the shippers are going to get to watch that and be like, whoa, didn't they? But we don't have to, we don't have that same dynamic that we've had for a couple of seasons. So I'm glad about that.
I agree with that.
How about the VR? So was that Fitz developing the
Ada?
Huh?
Oh, you mean the virtual reality? Yeah.
I just like that.
How much is here? I mean, he's going to be working on Ada now.
Yeah, but he developed this holodeck. I have a feeling that's going to be a plot device. It's going to come back. Whether it comes back this season or not, I think they established something there that could be a fun environment for them to do something in. And they can use it. She said it's completely silent when she took the headset off. It was all noisy and around her. We could get fooled. He could, put that on somebody, give them a virtual reality that they're living with while S.H.I.E.L.D. is working around them. It's an interesting idea. Plus, he said they're gonna implant it in them. It's like, that's crazy. Yeah, he's digging it. Ada, I thought this was great. I'm glad we have LMDs here. There's no more question about whether Koenig was an LMD. This is the introduction of the LMD.
Right, which is kind of I mean, they've dropped the life model decoy line so many times, which I'm very confused as to where it really stands. Then,
I agree. I agree. Although maybe those are older models. Maybe we'll even get to see an older model
created by someone else. I don't know.
Maybe. This was where it really. He was excited. This is where it really came together. Of course, he's got her in his place naked. It's like, what were you doing here with your life model decoy? That was a little funky, and you could tell that Fitz thought the same thing. Like, what the hell's going on here?
I mean, come on, he's a lonely guy.
Yeah. And that was the woman from Walking Dead.
From Fear the Walking Dead?
No, from Walking Dead. It's the wife. It's Sarah Wayne Callies, isn't it?
Really?
I think it is.
No.
Oh, really? We got to go to IMDb already? All right.
She looked too young. She looked younger.
Well, they made her up to look like she was a robot.
I don't know. It didn't look like her to me, but I guess I could be wrong.
Watch. If it is, I rule. If not, Jack suggested it. It is not. It's somebody named.
We'll blame Jack.
No, you know who it is? I know why I thought it was her. Because she's from another show that that we do a podcast about, or we did it for Gallivant. She was on Gallivant.
Oh, okay.
She was Madalena. She's fantastic, but she looks a lot like her. So I kept thinking, that's so weird. I did think she looked different, but I thought it was her. Then that blows what I thought was really interesting. The brother at the end is from Fear the Walking Dead.
That's right.
So I thought that was pretty weird, but it was weirder when I thought that it was both of them from Walking Dead. So yeah, Lorenzo James Henry, that's who that is. He's a psycho on Fear the Walking Dead, by the way. What else did we get in this?
We got the one subplot with where there's some kind of spiritual.
Yeah, what is that?
Thing.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know.
It was a cool effect. I just don't know what that was. I mean, it's something related to Ghost Rider. No question. They're introducing magic, and they're introducing this weird spirit realm into here, and I'm down with it. But I have no idea what that was. So
I don't know.
Let's see what else we had. I got to do my. There was a great line in this one. There were a few good lines, but there was a great line in this one. Mac had it after Ghost Rider took out those the skinhead guys. He goes, "Aryan Brotherhood, not my kind of brothers."
That's right.
Great line.
He did.
Yo-Yo was back.
Yes, yes, she was.
Once again, it's leading us to, we're going to have a section that is, and I have a feeling it's going to be, if they do it the way I want, it's going to be second half of the season, or it's going to be next season. We're going to get a big old Secret Warriors story arc, just like we're getting the Ghost Rider one. And I'm down with that. I think it's the right move to, well, I've said it before. I'm not going to go into that again. Coulson has his tech hand.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand his X-ray hand. It was really weird.
It's weird, but you know what? It's Stark makes that, so it's going to do a lot of crazy things, and they keep getting him upgrades on it. I think that it would have done them well to make a reference to it coming from Stark Labs, because they still have acted as if nobody knows Coulson's alive. If they said that, we'd go, oh, obviously they know. Obviously they do know, but they haven't made any type of reference. That would satisfy the fan, I think.
Yeah, probably. But I mean, like, it still seems that he's dead. I mean, I think that's why he's not director.
So you think that the Avengers think he's dead, even though he was running around for 2 years as director?
Yeah, because the Avengers are doing other stuff. I mean, and it was Maria Hill that was
dealing with S.H.I.E.L.D. I mean, come on. We had Captain America right there in S.H.I.E.L.D. headquarters. So,
well, yeah, and all that stuff was leaked out. But like, I guess how far off the books did Fury keep this? I don't know.
Okay, maybe. But I would have really liked it if it had said if they'd made a reference. This came over from Stark Labs. Then it would have been like, okay, we know it's in the same universe. They never have to make reference to it. At least it doesn't seem like this separate thing that doesn't make sense.
Yes. Yeah.
Let's see. The fight with Quake and Ghost Rider. I tell you what, I would have. The fight was fine. It was good, but the shot of them running at each other was amazing. That was the whole show right there.
Yeah, it was.
And
there was so many.
He went into the van. Awesome.
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've actually watched this episode twice. I haven't watched an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode twice in a long time.
Yeah.
I hope they keep it up. I guess that's my fear right now.
Me too.
You know what?
This was out of the park.
It was, and it went darker. You know, I mean, there was killing, there was blood, there was, it was more so than, everybody's with freeze bullets, but it,
it was affected by are the Netflix shows.
Yeah, probably.
It had that. He was one of the street level characters here, and that changed this show in ways. That's the right direction. We don't have to have everything be dark and gritty. Don't turn into DC, but this is a nice bridge now.
Yeah.
Between the Netflix stuff and the MCU. This is the bridge it needed to be. Keep it up. So why did May see that Coulson, why did she see a demon face? What's up with that?
Well, whatever's in the box, I think it's like if you breathe it in. I thought at first it was the Inhuman crystals because
so did I. I thought it was
a similar thing, but it wasn't. It didn't seem that it was that. It must have been some kind of spiritual element.
Yeah.
And I know they're saying that there's no connection to Doctor Strange or anything coming up, and which I get that, and I wouldn't want it. But we are dealing with demons and the devil here.
We are
with Ghost Rider, so there's got to be something in there. There's got to be some kind of living demon spirit entity.
See him as a demon
because that's what it does. Did you not see that part where the Asian guys were when they opened it?
It turned them into
they got hit. No. You were watching it from the point of view of the one guy because once they switched cameras to the point of view of somebody else, he was looking at the other guy and it looked like it turned him in. It just messes with your mind. It makes you think that they are turning. I forgot what was that movie there's a movie out there that did a similar thing to this where it's like your paranoia builds up. Like,
yeah.
That's how it affects like your senses and like everything you see around you looks like it's like dying or melting or something like your biggest fear, like the fear toxin in the Batman.
Batman, yeah.
The Batman
I was
Begins.
also kind of thinking it's almost like a power that Scarlet Witch would have.
Yeah,
like it's that kind of magic that's going on here.
Yeah,
but not magic. It's some kind of weird spirit force. I don't know. I interpreted it differently, but now that you've said it, yeah, my interpretation was wrong. That's that's really good, man. I'm excited for that. And I hope it doesn't mean the end of May. May's a great character.
No, but they have to put somebody in peril now to start that process going.
Right.
Because
so and here she is, and she's going to try to kill Coulson or something because she thinks he's a demon.
I think she's smarter than that because it's why she didn't. It's why she didn't look at him that way. You know what I'm saying?
I hope so.
She didn't do that. So I think that she's going to try to fight it herself and fight her inner demons. But something will come out of this. It will take over at some point. So
for sure.
I don't think it's just going to be Coulson. I think she's just going to go crazy.
Oh, we're going to have a May Ghost Rider fight.
And it could be him kind of cleansing her to get that spirit out of her.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We will be back next week. We may be on YouTube Live. We may not.
Yeah.
So watch.
My internet works right.
Yeah, no kidding.
It didn't, but
so watch our social media. Follow us on Twitter at Nuff Said Podcast. Follow us on Facebook. We're going to start doing a lot more stuff on those social media platforms. So get involved there. We have that Patreon stuff we're going to be doing. We'll be posting stuff about that. October 1st, we're doing a podcast marathon. It'll be live on YouTube, and we're also doing it live at the Blue Box Cafe in Elgin. And first time we're announcing it, Nuff Said is going to be live there in the afternoon. Me, Alil, and Jack is coming in from Florida. So, yes, this is the first time you're meeting him in person.
I know. I'm excited.
Oh, you'll be underwhelmed. So, that's it. Thank you again for listening, everybody. Any final words, Alil?
No, Nuff Said.
Nuff Said.